structure, which is chaired by Member Roto, and the Parks committees. Is it going to be just, that's the issue I wanted to understand, because we were saying we need to ensure that the Parks committees function, because these issues which are being raised in the parks have to be attended to by the committees in the parks, which then work the committee chaired by Member Roto. That's the only issue is the relationship.
Member Roto is part of the presiding officers and reports to us. And what I want here is for better coordination and regular feedback, so that at any given time, when issues of violation of security and invasion of privacy of members happens, we should understand the context within which that has happened, because we shall have put systems in place to avoid just that. So that is the issue. I wish we were not entertaining a long discussion. Member Roto, I see you have your hand, but I will ask Honorable Singh first.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Very quickly, perhaps the chairs of the parks could be invited on an as and when required basis when we're discussing the park specifically. But I think the matter I wanted to raise has been covered by Honorable Natasha. A security threat of a different type, and I think it requires serious attention. And these are the crawling things in Acacia Park, where I see a lot of exchanges on our WhatsApp site. Thank you.
Snakes. Thank you very much, Honorable Singh. Mamu Roto.
Thank you, Speaker. Good morning. Speaker, I think I agree with you on the task team for the security, but on the issue of the parks and then the snakes, I just want to say that we are meeting with Public Works on the 3rd of December, and the issue is known to the Chief Whips because we raised the issue of the parks being neglected. The grass is long and so on. So we will be dealing with that matter of the safety in the parks in terms of the cleanliness and the snakes and all the other issues. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Ma'am Roto. Honorable Mkalipi, is that the old hand or a new one?
Yeah, hold on, Speaker. Okay. Hold on, in a young person though.
That's a legacy. What are you suggesting about us? What are you saying? Thank you very much. Honorable Julius.
No, thank you, Chairperson. No, I agree with the task team, but I think we should also look into what the role was of others. Why was it? How did we get to this stage? Because for me, if people cut grass and do all the work that they were supposed to do whilst we were not in the parks, this thing wouldn't have happened. Now, for me, there's another problem, and it has financial issues now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Comrade Julius. I now invite Mr. Kaso.
We all know that it increased heavily, Madam Speaker. And for me, seeing a snake on my stoop the other day, I'm not going to sleep there. I'll fly in and out. I'm not going to sleep there. I'm not sleeping with snakes. I don't know whether there are snakes in my house. So there should also be people to go and check our houses, whether it's safe for us to go back. I don't know whether there's a snake under my bed or so. When I saw these two snakes on my stoop, the two doors were open because I wanted ventilation in the house because I haven't been there in a while. Now, I don't know what's in there. I'm not going there. Honestly, I'm not sleeping with snakes. And I'm sure lots of members will do that, you know, and it will cost us in the long run, you know, flying in and out. We have the houses to reduce flights also. So, Madam Speaker, that should also be taken into account. Thank you.
I understand, Honorable Julius. You belong to the same club as myself. We will do something about it.
Me too, Speaker. I belong to this elite club that you talk about. Thank you.
Now, honorable members, just to say that this is a matter which will be attended to. Honestly, when I was raising the issue of security of Parliament, I was referring to some of the incidents which have occurred, where there have been break-ins and so on. I wasn't aware of this particular one, but it should be the easiest to start with, honorable members. I see that the Secretary of Parliament is on the platform. Ms. Kiama, before
Thank you, Honor.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Good morning, Chief Whips and members of the committee and officials. I just wanted to reiterate on the village board, ma'am. I did communicate with the Chief Whips. The fundamental thing that is a weakness is that, ma'am, the village board is not meeting. And that is a forum that constitutes of a multi-party representatives, the S-subs, Public Works, and other people who are securing the villages, Honorable Speaker. We raised it with the DG, acting DG, Faisal, on the 18th of November, and they've committed to convening the village board, because once the village board works, ma'am, the village committees will work effectively and they will hold Public Works at hand so that they actually do clean the villages regularly. So I just thought, let me share this through you, Speaker, that members do know there is a village board that's been inactive for a good 2 years as we speak. Thank you so much, Honourable Speaker. The rest, we took guidance from you in terms of the report we shared with yourself. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Kiawa. Just to remind honorable members that we also have a joint programming committee which is scheduled to start shortly. So we must now try to round up. Honorable members, I think we have noted the issue of security, including issues related to what Honorable Jules has raised. And all I wanted was for us to adopt this. The team will have to come together as quickly as possible, develop terms of reference, see how we can assist Mamoroto and her team, how we can assist, and even ensure that this board you are referring to, Ms. Kiawa, is indeed functional. So the most important thing for us now is to put measures in place which will deter a repeat of such a occurrence. That for me is okay. Honorable Lechisa, I see your hand. Yes. Honorable TS, I see your hand. Okay, I proceed then to invite Honorable Kaso. Oh, there you are. You are muted. You are muted, Honorable Lechisa. TS. Unmute, please.
We'll get ICT to assist him, ma'am, because his mic is on.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
ICT assistance.
Thank you, DS. Okay. There seems to be a problem there, DS, even though you are unmuted according to the system here, but we can't hear you. You are not audible at all.
The system is delaying you.
Born before technology. I see something in the
Now there's a phone there as well. Okay,
Can you hear me?
you can
you
see
hear me, Madam Speaker?
Yes, the system is delaying you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, I'm using another gadget.
We can see that you have a phone on your face.
Yeah. Now, what I wanted to say is that I have had discussions, 2 of them, with the Deputy Minister of Public Works. And some of those discussions include dealing with waste in the villages, and other related issues. So I suggest that as part of the report backs, we will discuss with Mebu Roto. He was unfortunately not able to attend that meeting, but she sent a representative. We will bring that report as soon as possible when it reaches fruition so that the matter is addressed comprehensively. The one about snakes and waste that generates those conditions there. I just thought I should provide this information to members for now, at least.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tsinodi, but you do support the establishment of this?
Yes,
And
absolutely.
that is the most,
Yeah.
all we want is to ensure that there's political accountability, because this problem of security has been going on and on. Thank you very much, Honorable Tsinodi, DS. Now, we proceed, honorable members, to deal with the item which I hand over to you, Deputy Speaker, for information of members, the Parliamentary Institute.
Yes. Madam Speaker, thank you very much. There is a presentation, but I would like to be free from that presentation and rather present a narrative. The presentation can be used as a resource for members, because members have it, I assume, so that I can summarize the key issues. The first one that I want to start with, Madam Speaker, is to inform members that in discussions with yourself, there has been agreement that going forward, the quality of communication should be between ourselves in Parliament, coming from and going to the Speakers Forum, will be improved on a regular basis. First, with presiding officers, all presiding officers in both the NA and the NCOP, but also with the political parties across the board, so that this communication is timely and can be fed into by members at different points. So the Speakers Forum have done a number of things. Today, we would like to talk to the creation of the Parliamentary Institute, which has been in discussion for a long time in the sector. But ultimately, we have arrived at a decision that we should go ahead with it. And the idea that is that this launch must take place on the 9th, and that the purpose of its establishment is to bring coherence in the capacity building initiatives that we have in Parliament and in the 9 provinces. And so far, the work of the Speakers Forum has been supported by the EU funding. And it's important just to note that there has been discussions between ourselves and the EU ambassador. The Speaker will talk briefly on this matter, I hope, as part of what we are discussing here. But the most important element is that the decisions of the Speakers Forum is that we should have 2 representatives of the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces, and 2 representatives of the provinces, and then there are 3 experts who have been recommended in order to provide technical professional assistance. And in addition to that, we expect that in each province, legislatures will establish a team of ex-members to serve as a resource to the Parliamentary Institute and the legislatures generally on matters relevant to the capacity building initiatives. We plan also to have relations with other partners in this matter, such as the School of Government and their research institutions, such as the Human Sciences Research Council, the CSIR with its scientific foundation and capacity, housed as one of the entities of the Department of Higher Education. This is so that partnership will be very crucial to continue to provide support so that members have access to education specifically to improve their capacity for engagement with issues before us in Parliament as individuals, but also as committees. These programs will be coordinated through the Parliamentary Institute. So these issues have gone a significant way. We consulted with the rest of the provinces about names and so on. These are coming together, and we will circulate a finalized list this week so that members now know who the members of the board are. Because I chair the reference group on capacity building and gender, I have been asked to chair this Parliamentary Institute. Its term of office will be generally 5 years. But now, those of us who are now going to be in the institute, in the board of the institute, will serve only up to the end of the term in 2024. Those who will follow us will then serve for full 5 years. That's broadly the picture and the preparations. The CPA International, which we are members of, and members remember we launched a branch here, has an academy, and that academy has online programs that are immediately available to every member of the branch, so to speak, in the legislative sector in our country. So immediately on their website, this academy and its programs can be seen and looked at. We do wish to encourage members to take them on and give us feedback about their relevance and appropriateness and how they can be improved where this is appropriate. We know that there are a number of members in Parliament from various committees who would be interested in knowing what is happening to the funding, and we do so up to master's level in the programs we have with VETS and UJ, and we hope that with improvement we will be able to do a range of issues. Members must remember that the entry level program and those that builds on that entry level can take up to masters, as we are saying. There are questions around the doctorate and its funding, and this matter will also be clarified soon once we have finalized things. I think it is what we hope is going to be clear for now is that now that we are establishing the institute, that our relationship with universities, including our partners such as the Kenya Parliamentary Institute, which has a longer history, and others that we will locate in the legislative environment, in the global organizations of parliaments. We will continue to establish a mutually reinforcing relationship to help with the capacity of members according to their portfolios, but according to their being public representatives. We hope that members will support this program because it's not only valuable now during the course of what members are doing in their various committees, portfolio and select, but also once they leave their post-tenure deployment and work, such capacity building will be very relevant and absolutely useful. And so this is what we thought we should say. As I said, the presentation that the support team has prepared is available and provides in more detail just the framework of the history and the development of the Parliamentary Institute. We hope that this is an important progress in our more better organized capacity building initiatives. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Michisa. Colleagues, please allow me to postpone a discussion of this matter. There is a lot of information which was given here by the Honorable Deputy Speaker, And I would request the Deputy Speaker to prepare a written report for circulation of all the issues he was talking to. You may be familiar with some of them, but maybe not with the others. So I request that the report should be a separate item on the agenda of the coming programming committee. I'll tell you why. We have spent 45 minutes in this meeting. It should have been 30 minutes because we have a joint programming committee meeting. So I'm not suppressing honorable members, but we are simply postponing the discussion of this report. It's a very important report, which we've just received from the Deputy Speaker, and I will not allow for it to be, to just browse over it. We need to discuss the issues because they are very critical issues. So allow me to suppress you, honorable members, so that I then allow for the next report to be presented from the committee section. Do you agree,
Thank you,
honorable
Madam Speaker?
Because you had your hand, honorable Singh. I hope you accept that.
Yes, Honorable Speaker. I'll discuss some matters with the Deputy Speaker when I have a chance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Singh. I see you got it down on the screen from the committee section. A report, please.
Good morning, Madam Speaker, honorable members and colleagues. Our report starts with slide number 2. On this slide, the PC on Justice and Correctional Services has the cannabis for private purposes. The committee had deliberate briefings by the departments on the 23rd and 24th of November. The deliberations will continue in November and December, and the committee is planning to adopt the report on the 8th of December. The next slide. It is the traditional course bill before Peace on Justice and Correctional Services. The committee has revised its program. The plan was to deliberate and adopt the report on the 30th of November, but a new date is to be set. The next slide. The Standing Committee on Finance has finalized the revised fiscal framework. The next slide. The Standing Committee on Appropriation is on course with the processing of the medium-term budget policy statement. The committee is planning to finalize the report on the 7th of December. The next slide. The Standing Committee on Appropriation is also on course with the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill with the finalization of the revised fiscal framework. The bill has been referred. Now the committee is planning to finalize the report this coming Friday, which is tomorrow. The next slide. The Standing Committee on Finance has finalized the tax and revenue bills yesterday. The report will be on ATC. The next slide. PC on mineral resources and energy is busy with the public hearings on gas amendment bill. The committee is currently in KZN, and the next leg will be the virtual public hearings on the 30th and the 3rd of December. The next slide. The PC on trade and industry has the copyright amendment bill. The deliberations are planned for the days indicated, and the committee is planning to finalize the bill during the first quarter next year. The next slide. PC on health with the National Health Insurance Bill. The committee is busy with the virtual public hearings with the dates indicated on the slides. The next slide. PC on transport, the National Road Traffic Amendment Bill. The committee has included the 30th of November as another date for deliberations, and further date is the 7th of December. The next slide. PC on social development is currently busy with the Children Amendment Bill, public hearings in various provinces. The committee is now in Gauteng. Next week, they will be in Free State. The week that follows is Western Cape. and the committee is planning to finalize the report in March 2022. The bill has got a deadline, a constitutional court deadline, but the process is on course. The next slide. This is the statutory appointments before PC on communications. The committee has finalized the interviews for SABC board members. The process of adopting the report has been postponed. The vetting process is still taking place. The next slide. This is the MDDA board statutory appointments before communications. Interviews also have been finalized, but the process of vetting is still taking place. The committee will determine the date to finalize the report. The next slide. The statutory appointments also before PC on communications. That is the appointment of ICASA councillors. The committee completed the interviews. The vetting process is taking place, and date to finalize the report will be decided. The next slide. PC on communications has finalized an international trade agreement, which is the final act of I2 World Radio Conference 2019. The report is on ATC. This concludes our report, Madam Speaker, honorable members and colleagues.
Really, honorable members, are there any comments on the report? But please, if there's nothing of significance, please let us not discuss the issue, because we've run out of time. We should have started our joint committee meeting at 9 o'clock. Is that acceptable to you, honorable members? That we do not discuss this. We know. Thank you very much, Honorable Singh. On that note, I then invite the report, Honorable Kaso, on the bills.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Honorable members. Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. My colleague, Mr. Tau, has already touched on the bills that were referred, so I'm not going to report on them. They appear on number 34 to number 38 on section B. So the only thing that I'm going to mention is number 36, 37, and 38, which is the tax bills. They have been tagged. And for information purposes, I will report that the criminal procedure and second special appropriation bills were passed yesterday, and they have been sent to the President for assent. Thank you, Speaker.
Very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Mbata. That was short and sweet. Thank you very much, colleagues. Colleagues, we note that, and we're happy that at least there's finality on some of the bills, and hopefully the presidency will ensure that these are ascended to as quickly as possible. The next one, honorable members, is the consideration of the draft parliamentary program. Mr. Klason.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The programming whip will present the program, just highlight.
Mr. Klason, I didn't hear that.
We're saying the programming whip member would present the program.
Ms. Lesuma, are you here?
Yes, Honorable Speaker. Yes, thank you very much. Good morning, colleagues, and thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. If I may, we are in week 21, and I will just be quick as possible. That today it's oral questions for reply by the Honorable President at 14 hours, and then tomorrow then it will be what you call it committee day. Other than that, the rest it has been a circulated change to reflect like that. Only safe to say that the ethics report that was scheduled to be before the House next week, it will be on the last week before the House rises, because the Honorable Speaker must preside on that when that report is being presented, Chair, Honorable Speaker. That's an only highlight that I may make an emphasis on. Other than that, as circulated, the rest, Chair, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Lisuma. Honorable members, are there any comments on the program as presented by Ms. Lisuma? Okay, honorable members, just for me to indicate that the only reason why we've had to push it to the last week of Parliament, it is because this coming week I'll be leading a delegation of Parliament to the Interparliamentary Union Assembly, which is in Spain, which starts tomorrow. Other members have already left and I will be leaving this evening. So we will not be here next week. So the following week on Tuesday, we will then put this item on the agenda of Parliament. Thank you very much, honorable members. Are there any announcements, Mr. Klaso?
Madam Speaker, no announcements at all, except to say that the members of the NCOP will join on this platform, so we don't need to disconnect from this end for the Joint Program Committee.
I suggest that we just take a break of 5 minutes to allow them to log in. Okay?
Madam Chair, we've already logged in.
Oh, you are here. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you. We're eavesdropping on your deliberations. Why?
Honorable Masondo, Chairperson, are you here?
It's Honorable Nyambi, I think, leading our delegation today.
Okay, Honorable Nyambi. Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Member. Now we proceed to deal with issues related to the Joint Programming Committee. Welcome, honorable members. And let me start by really apologizing for starting so late. We actually 30 minutes late. It was due to the discussions in our meeting of the Committee of the National Assembly, Programming Committee of the National Assembly. Honorable members, if you do have copies of the agenda, may we look at the apologies? Are there any apologies?
Honorable Speaker, from the NA, we have the apology of Honorable Ndombela. And I also understand that the Deputy Speaker will not be able to join this meeting.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Carson. Shall we then look at the agenda, consider the agenda, honorable members? Are there any matters which honorable members would like added to the agenda? Are we happy with the agenda then?
Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Lakude.
I move for the adoption.
My apologies.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Honorable Lakude. Advocate Pindela, were you commenting?
Yes, Madam Speaker, my apologies. It's Pindela from the National Council of Provinces.
Yes.
I just wanted to tender the apology of the chairperson and the deputy chairperson.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Advocate. Okay, agenda having been adopted, we then proceed to deal with the minutes of the meeting of the 3rd of June, colleagues. Minutes, are you going to put them on the screen, colleagues? Mr. Caso? And Advocate. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. These minutes are on the screen, colleagues. Are there any no. Can somebody comment on the agenda, on the minutes? Are there any amendments? Any issues which you would like corrected? If none, can somebody move for the adoption of the minutes of the joint committee meeting?
Madam Speaker.
Memorandum, yes.
I take these minutes as have been sent to us some time back, and we have looked into them, and I have seen no problems and wish to move for the adoption.
Oh, thank you very much. The minutes have been adopted. And any other hand? Mangwenya?
Thanks very much, Speaker. I would like to second the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Seconded. Thank you, Mangwenya. We then proceed, honorable members, to deal with matters arising out of those minutes. There is Mr. Tasso.
Madam Speaker, with your permission.
Matters arising, please.
Yes, ma'am. With your permission, I'd like to deal with 3 issues. The one being the legislative program of 2020, and to indicate that out of the 31 bills that were on the list, 11 were introduced. So we are correcting the number 9 that we had indicated earlier. So 11 bills were introduced. And in terms of the GBV bills, sexual offences, domestic violence, criminal and related matters bill, all those bills have since been passed by Parliament, and they are with the presidency, not assented yet, but with the presidency. And the third aspect, ma'am, relates to sectoral parliaments. There was a women's parliament in August, and of course, the issue of the coordination of those parliaments continues to receive attention. And when we deal with the framework, there will be an indication there of which sectoral parliaments are confirmed to take place next year. Thank you so much, ma'am. That's all I have from my side.
Thank you very much, Mr. Castle. Advocate Pindela, are there any issues which Mr. Castle left out which require the attention from the matters arising?
There are none, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, comments? Okay, no comments. We then proceed, honorable members, to deal with the report on legislation before Parliament.
The Bills Office will assist us with that, ma'am.
Bills Office.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker, honorable members and colleagues. I'll report on the bills that are before Parliament. The summary of bills that were introduced, it's 3 bills are on the NA order paper. 38 bills are before the NA committees. 3 bills are on NCOP order paper, and 6 bills are before NCOP committees. Those appear in slide number 1. And in 2021, Madam Speaker, there are 23 bills introduced, and 3 bills have been passed and sent to the President for assent, and 2 of those bills introduced in 2021 have been assented to. In slide number 3, which is the legislative program, Mr. Kaso has already highlighted some of the bills that were introduced that appeared in this list, which is 11 bills of the 31 bills were introduced. 8 of them are still before Parliament. 2 of those bills have been assented to, which is the Division of Revenue and the Appropriation Bill. And 1 bill was passed by Parliament yesterday, and it has been sent as well for assent, which is the Criminal Procedure Amendment Bill. On the next slide, which is slide number 4, we will indicate the draft bills that are before Parliament, the bills that are certified for introduction. Now the Bills Office is working on these 2 bills, which is the National Field and Forest Fire Amendment Bill, Criminal Law Forensic Procedures Amendment Bill. And there's only 1 bill that has been approved by Cabinet, and the Bills Office and Parliament has received the JR 159, which is the Climate Change Bill. On the next slide, we will report on the bills that were passed in the month of October, which is the 3 bills, Domestic Violence Amendment Bill, Criminal Law, Sexual Offences, and Criminal Matters. All these 3 bills are with the President. They were sent in the month of October. And on the next one, we will report on the 2 bills that were recently assented to. Those bills are Private Security Industry Regulation Amendment Bill and the Liquor Products Amendment Bills. Both bills were sent to the Constitutional Court for safekeeping. And on the last slide, which is slide number 6, we will report on the adjustments budget. Both houses have adopted the revised fiscal framework yesterday. Therefore, the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill and the Adjustment Appropriation Bill are now before the Standing Committee on Appropriations for consideration and report. And again, the 3 tax bills that were introduced with this budget, they have all been tagged, and there are dates that are indicated next to them for consideration by both houses. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. That's all from our report.
Thank you very much, Ms. Mbata. Honorable members, are there any comments on the report presented to us by Ms. Mbata on the status of the bills?
No, Honorable Speaker, no comments.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Lakude. If there are none, then shall we proceed to deal with legislation for 2022? Who's presenting that report? Mr. Tasso?
Madam Speaker, I would just like the Bills Office to indicate whether any information has been received from the executive on this matter. Bills Office.
Thank you again, Honorable Speaker. We haven't received the list of legislation for 2022, but what we can highlight is that we are preparing to work on the bills that we are aware that they always come up with this list, which is the budget and the MTBPS. Other than that, there's nothing that we have received at the moment. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Tasso, what usually happens when there hasn't been an indication from the executive that they'll be submitting bills for 2022? Should I write to the leader of government business to remind him, or should we wait?
Ma'am, unless the parliamentary councillors have information on that matter, but we would advise that the presiding officers indeed should write to the LOGB to remind that office to submit the list for 2022. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. Honorable Papo, you are on in this meeting. And Honorable, I hope you're listening. Honorable Papo, you here? Okay, Honorable Papo is not here anymore. So there will be a reminder sent to the leader of government business, honorable members, on the legislation for 2022.
Yes, because that Because there's no report. That's why I didn't say anything.
Well, you are now being tasked to remind, but and please take note that I will be writing a letter to the leader of government business so that he can then remind the executive members to make a submission on the bills for 2022. Is that okay, Honorable Member?
Yes, the process has already started. It's that there's no report. It started 2 months back. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much. Can I just remind you, Honorable Papo, that we are now, next week, the Parliament will be rising. Okay? And in 2 weeks' time. So if there's going to be legislation for 2022, I'm sure there is a deadline, Ms. Mbata. When is the deadline?
Honorable Speaker, we are not aware of the deadline.
Okay. Thank you very much, honorable members. So this is a matter, I will write a letter to the leader of government business, just as a friendly reminder. We then proceed, honorable members, to deal with the parliamentary program framework for 2022. Honorable, Mr. Kaso.
Honorable Speaker, the two programming whips, Mr. Dandu and Ms. Lesoma, will deal with the program framework for 2022.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, you may proceed.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker. Let me start from the National Council of Provinces to present the program for the 2022 framework. On the National Council of Provinces, Honorable Speaker, the program was consulted with the whippery, and also it was endorsed this morning by the Programming Committee of the National Council of Provinces. The framework, Honorable Speaker, will be as follows. As the first term of the National Council of Provinces will be 8 weeks, and the leave period for 2022 will be from the 3rd to the 28th of January. And then, Honorable Speaker, the National Council of Province members training will be from the 1st to the 3rd of February. Then we will have the month of February, which will be the joint sitting, the SONA, which will be on the 10th of February. And then we will have the debate of the State of the Nation, which is proposed for the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which is the 15, 16, and 17, which is also including the reply of the President on the 17th. And then, Honorable Speaker, then the National Council of Committee Strategic Planning annual review sessions, which will be the 1st of the 3rd of March. National Council of Province questions to Deputy President in March. NCOP questions to clusters, also in March. Then the NCOP constituency period for the first term will be from the 24th of March to the 14th of April. That is the first term. Then the second term of the framework will be 10 weeks, which will be committees, departmental strategic planning briefings, which will be from the 9th of April to the 8th of May. Then we will be having NCOP questions to the Deputy President in May, NCOP questions to clusters also in May, NCOP plenaries, committees, department strategic planning, which will be briefings to the NCOP will be on the 10th of May to the 10th of June. Then the NCOP plenary and division of revenue in June. And then the decision on the appropriations bill by the NCOP will be in the 23rd of June. Then the NCOP constituency period for the second term, Honorable Speaker, will be the 27th June to the 14th of August. Then we will have, Honorable Speaker, the third term of the framework will be on, which will be 8 weeks. And the NCOP members oversight will be the 2nd to the 12th of August. And then we'll have the NCOP questions to the Deputy President in August, NCOP questions to cluster and social service will be on August. Then NCOP plenaries committees legislation, 16 August to the 2nd of September. NCOP governance, local government week from the 6th to the 9th of September. NCOP committee, 12th to the 16th of September. NCOP oversight visits taking Parliament to the people, 19th to the 23rd of September. Then the constituency period for the third term, Honorable Speaker, will be the 26th of September to the 10th of October. Then the fourth term of the framework will be the NCOP committees, which will be the 1st to the 14th of the 14th of October. NCOP provincial week will be on the 17th to the 21st of October. And then we will have NCOP plenaries, committees, legislation, 24th of October to the 2nd of December. NCOP questions to the president in November, questions to the cluster governance also in October. Tabling of the 2022 medium-term budget policy statement in October, adjustment budget and revised fiscal framework. And then also they will have the NCOP questions to the Deputy President in November. Tabling of the Parliament, taking Parliament to the people, 14th to the 18th of November. NCOP address by the President or the Deputy President, also in November. And then the constituency period, NCOP decision on the adjustment appropriations bill in December. Then the constituency period for the fourth term on the framework will be the 15th to the 16th of December, will be 2 weeks. Then the leave period will be 19 December to January 2022. Honorable Speaker, that is how the framework for the National Council of Provinces will be unfolding. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you to you, Honorable Jatu. Honorable members, I take it that the presentation of these programs is for noting. Am I correct?
Madam Speaker?
Yes.
After they've been presented, the joint program committee is required to adopt the framework.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Kaso. I now invite Ms. Lesuma to present the.
My approach, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I will talk to the framework, Honorable Speaker, that the program framework takes into account time for plenaries, committees, dedicated oversight, constituency, and leave periods. Key factors to be taken into consideration are as follows. 1, State of the Nation address, which we didn't put the exact date, subject to the confirmation by the President, will be in February, followed by the national budget in February as well, followed by budget votes, debates in May, between May and June. We will put the dates as reflected in the program. I'm talking to it, I'm not dealing with the dates. And then 4 is the main appropriation bill, which will take place in June, followed by in November, the sectoral parliament youth in June, and women's parliament in August, and lastly, the national men's parliament in November, followed by the budgetary review and recommendations report BARRs in October. And as well in October is a medium-term budget policy statement. And lastly, in November, on key factors will be adjustment appropriation bill, which will be in November. The provision of the Money Bills Amendment Procedure and Related Matters Act 2009 also prescribe particular timeframes that must be followed. The work of the committees of Parliament is guided by the above-mentioned activities, in addition to issues that are identified during board oversight activities by various committees of Parliament. It is necessary for the program of Parliament to create adequate space for members to undertake constituent work and fit issues emanating therefrom into the program of Parliament. The period between 20 June and 15 August is identified for a prolonged constituent period. We are also now factoring in the mini plenaries, the comparison as if we may take the comparison as proposed in 2022. Plenaries will take place, will be plenaries, committees, dedicated oversight, and constituency leave. So those are the proposed activities that will take place during the year. On the half week of the 24th week and the 5th weeks will be first, the plenaries will take 24 and a half weeks. The committee period will be dedicated around the 5.5 weeks, and the oversight will be 2 weeks, and the constituency period will be given 16 weeks, which in totally, if we add the percentage, which is 47% of plenaries, 10% of committees, and dedicated oversight 4% of the time, and the constituency period and leave would be 31 and 8. That makes 100% of the total year of 2022. For currently for 2021, many plenaries and committees, without repeating it, the difference is that we have added 1% in each, for many plenaries currently we've got 26 weeks and 26%, and then we're saying we'll add 1% to make it for 47% for the incoming year. For committees, we're adding 4%, which would be more with 7 weeks, and I'm doing the comparison, Honorable Speaker. And then for the dedicated oversight, we're decreasing it to 3 weeks instead of 4 weeks. And as well as for the constituent period and leave, it will be, we're decreasing it from 23 weeks, which is 44%, to 16 weeks, which is 31%. And the other one for the leaves, then we're also decreasing it instead of 5 weeks to 4%. That's a difference. I'm making comparisons on that, Honorable Speaker. The detailed proposal in terms of the quarters, Honorable Speaker, the first quarter, which will start from 25th of January 2022 to 1 April, which is 10 weeks. It should be noted, Honorable Speaker, that the main business of the term consists of the State of the Nation Address and SONA and the budget instruments, which include the fiscal framework and division of revenue bill. Let me talk now to the leave. Leave period is from the 3rd to the 7th of January, which is 1 week. Constituent period will be from the 10th to the 24th of January, which is 2 weeks. And committees from the 25th of January to the 9th of February, which is 2.5 weeks. And SONA and debate will be in February without allocating the date, as I said earlier on, subject to the confirmation by the President, 1.5 weeks. Plenaries will be on the 22nd of February to the 25th of March, which will give us 5 weeks. And committees and oversight of committees will be from the 29th of March to the 1st of April, which will give us 1 week, and constituency period will be from 4th of April to 14, which is 2 weeks. The second quarter, Honorable Speaker, which will be starting from the 19th April to 17th June, which is 8 weeks. We should note that the business of Parliament will mainly consist of consideration of budget, which will be committees oversight from the 19th to the 22nd of April, which will be 1 week, and plenaries 3 to the 6th of May, which is 1 week. Budget votes, I will not repeat the weeks. Budget vote will be from the 10th of May to the 27th of May 2022, and plenaries will be from the 31st of May to June 2022. Leave period will start from April 25th to the 29th, and constituency period from June to the 15th of August. In the third quarter, which will start in the 16th of August to the 23rd of September, it will be from the 16th to the 19th of August, committee week, and from the 23rd to the 23rd August to the 23rd of September to be plenaries, and from the 26th September to the 10th of October is constituency period. The fourth quarter will be mainly focusing, which will start from the 11th of October to the 2nd of December, will mainly focus on BRRRs and MTB, PS, and Adjustment Appropriation Bill and Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, which will be from the 11th and to the 21st of October will be committees, and 25th of October to the 2nd of December will be plenaries, and from the 5th to the 15th of December will be constituency period, and the leave period will be from the 19th to 30th of December. And the rest as tabled before the meeting in terms of when we will then work on the 2023 program, which will also reflect when the House is going to rise. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker and members.
Honorable Lisoma, thank you very much. I see that there's a hand from Mr. Kaso.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would just like to confirm that the President has confirmed the 10th, or rather has requested the 10th of February for the State of the Nation address. So I would like to confirm that. And also in terms of the debate, I understand that there's been a request for the debate on SONA to start on the Monday, not the Tuesday. So it will be 14th, 15th, and 16th, but I'm sure that's something that the whippery of the two houses will be able to discuss and reach an agreement on. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kaso. I see that there are honorable members who have their hands up, starting with Honorable Labuskaghne, followed by Honorable Majudina and Honorable Singh.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Yes, my question is, as I've seen on the program, the debate for the SONA is indicated on the 14th and the 15th, which is a Monday. Normally we have it on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, and I would really make a plea that we have it on the Tuesday and the Wednesday. I would like to know what is the reason why we then started on a Monday this time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Labuskaghne. If I may, so that the other members do not raise the same matter. When we received the communication and the indication that the President will deliver the State of the Nation address on the 10th, then of course there was also a request that we allow for the debate to start on Monday rather than Tuesday. I know the tradition is that we start on a Tuesday, but the request is that we should start on Monday due to the President's international commitments. So, yeah, so we'll have to do that Monday, Tuesday, and the President to respond because he has engagements which are beyond his control. If we could just agree to that and proceed, honorable members, and I invite other honorable members who have their hands up, Machudina, Singh, and then Honorable Korenov.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me start with the matter of SONA debate requested to be on a Monday. We stand to support that in the light that if the President have prior engagement, I want to request all our colleagues, the chief whips, that we make up for the constituency day, because Monday is a constituency day. So my firm proposal is that let's accept the proposal that the debate is on Monday and Tuesday. Then we make up that week on a Friday. We replace our constituency day by taking that Friday, so that we don't have a backlog in our constituency. So I fully support debate for Monday and Tuesday in the light of the reasons that have been forwarded. Secondly, Speaker, I want to make a plea for NA and NCOP that once we agreed on a program that is termed Parliament is two houses. We must avoid what we have experienced in 2020-21, where we agree on a parliamentary program that involves 2 houses, but only 1 house will run with the program. So if it's a men's parliament, youth parliament, whatever parliament, a sectoral parliament that is going to be there, let's observe the fact that we've agreed that this is a parliament, and therefore it must be a program that is hosted by both houses as parliament, not one single house to run with the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Majutina. Honorable Singh.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. No, I agree with the reasoning for the Monday debate and Friday as a constituency day. That is well accepted. I also want to say that thank you to the teams that have put this program together, and they gave us a lovely breakdown on how many percent is parliamentary work, how many percent constituency work. I think it gives the public a much better idea of what we're trying to do. And I would support that we accept this as a draft program, pending anything else that may happen and any adjustments that would be required subject to approval of the Joint Programming Committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Singh. Honorable Korenov.
Thank you, Speaker, for the opportunity. I want to support what the Speaker has said for the reason. The best date, both from the side of the President and from the side of Parliament, was the 10th of February. The last number of years, it was always in mid-February. So that's why we wanted to anchor that as a date for the State of the Nation. And it's also in balance then for the budget, tabling of the budget on the 22 weeks later. The only change now then, as you explained, due to the international commitments of the President, he will reply then on Wednesday, the 16th of February, preceded by the 2 days of debate. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Korenov. Honorable Nyambi, you will be the last one.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to colleagues. I want to align myself with the proposal by your good self and the Chief Whip, but also emphasize that as we are agreeing that to make up for the Monday, it will be in order to have a program that will reflect that we are giving that constituency day on a Friday. Secondly, the issue of something that we come together as joint programming and agree as Parliament. Once we agree, nothing must be done outside the framework that we're adopting here as correctly captured by Chief Whip. Lastly, I want to move that out of what has been presented by both Ms. Lesoma and Honorable Njandu, I move that we adopt the framework as our guide for 2022, Chief Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nyambi. Honorable Nyambi has moved for adoption of this framework. Any seconders, colleagues?
I second, Honorable Chair. Honorable Bartlett, second.
Honorable Bartlett seconds the adoption of the program. Honorable members, is there any other matter which is not reflected on the agenda which honorable members would like to raise, which is urgent? None. On that note, honorable members, I declare this meeting closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Speaker. Thank you, Lady in White. Lady in White, thank you.
Thank you, Pemi.
Lady in White. You must be Lady in Red, Speaker. Ask the Chief.
Yeah, I bet
Recording stopped.
Thank you, honorable members. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye.